Hello, friends. Good morning to all of you. Today, I am going to tell you what is the difference between ECR versus non-ECR passport. Now I'm going to explain you everything on ECR passport and non-ECR passport. Then now we start. When you think about going abroad, one of the essential documents that come to mind is the passport. A passport is a mandatory document required. If you plan to go out of India, the passport is issued by the government of India as proof of your nationality and identity. There are different passport issued on the basis of your age, educational qualification, etc. etc. Having a passport is important if you ever plan to go abroad for leisure, study, or business purposes. Knowing about the different types of passport is important. There are majorly two categories of passport. One is ECR and non-ECR passport. Before we delve into ECR or non-ECR in passport, it is essential to highlight the importance of a travel insurance plan. When you have travel abroad, going abroad is a wonderful experience as you witness new cultures, stunning architecture, amazing people, and delicious food. But you need to secure your trip with the right travel insurance plan so that you have to financially back up if something goes terribly wrong on your trip. If you are confused about which travel insurance plan you want, then Shairana Travel India have the answer for you. Buying a travel insurance plan with Shairana Travel India is a smooth and hassle-free experience. Compare travel insurance plan on our website and choose a policy that is best suited for your travel needs. Moreover, the process of filing a claim is simple and stress-free with seamless support. In which article you will get all the details of ECR versus non-ECR in the Indian passport. Now I'm going to tell you what is ECR passport. ECR or Immigration Clearance Required is a passport issued to an applicant who either has not passed their 10th standard or does not have certificate to prove the same. People with ECR passports have to undertake immigration checks. The ECR passport is mainly issued to provide people with the freedom to work in countries like Indonesia, UAE, Iran, etc. etc. It is mentioned that people who have a lower educational qualification tend to face domestic violence in some foreign nation. The Indian government has therefore introduced very strict rule and regulation to safeguard the people and ensure that such situation do not arise. Now I am going to tell you who is eligible to apply for an ECR passport. If the applicant for the passport has not passed their 10th standard and they do not have any document that they have passed 10th, then they will be issued an ECR passport. Also, by default, children who are under the age of 15 also get this passport ECR. And any Indian who plans to travel to another country on a visa that is not a job or employment visa can also opt for an ECR passport by choosing this option at the time of filling out the form of getting an Indian passport. Now I'm going to tell you which country need clearance for ECR. There are 17 countries that require clearance for emigration under POE, Protector of Emigrants, operated by the Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs. The list of countries is given below: Afghanistan, Iraq, Bahrain, Indonesia, Kuwait, Jordan, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Qatar, Libya, Lebanon, Oman, Thailand, Sudan, UAE, United Arab Emirates, then Syria, Yemen. If you have an ECR passport and you plan to go any of the above mentioned countries for employment, then you need to undertake the process of emigration so that you can migrate to that country. In the case of any other passport, you do not need to undertake the immigration clearance process. At the immigration counter, you need to show the ticket and your visa on the ECR passport, and you will be allowed to travel without any hassles. Before we get into ECR versus non-ECR passport, let us understand the documents required for an ECR passport. Now I'm going to tell you what document needed to apply for an ECR passport. The compulsory documents that you need to apply for an ECR passport include proof of your address, emergency proof if needed, and an access if needed. To adhere to all the guidelines issued by the Indian government, all these documents are required for the issuance for an ECR passport. The certificate of educational qualification are not compulsory, but if you have them, you can keep them as additional proof. Now I am going to tell you what is non-ECR passport. Non-ECR passport, yeah, or immigration clearance not required, ECNR. ECNR full form, immigration clearance not required. This is known as ECNR. Is issued to people who have the required educational qualification and wish to travel to other countries for either travel or business purposes. People who have an ECNR passport are allowed to travel to any country without having to pass immigration clearance. If you have passed the 10th class and you are eligible to apply for the ECNR passport and you do not have to get immigration clearance, this is the major difference between ECR and non-ECR. Also, in case you have passed secondary school but do not passes the certificate, you will have to apply for an ECR passport. Now I am going to tell you who is eligible to apply for an ECNR passport. All applicants who passes a certificate of passing their SSLC are by default eligible to apply for an ECNR passport. In case you do not require an ECNR passport, there are other options that you can select while you apply for a passport on the government website. Now I am going to tell you which document needed to apply for an ECNR passport. The compulsory documents that you need to apply for an ECNR passport include proof of your address, emergency proof if needed, and an access if needed. To adhere to all the rules and regulation issued by the Indian government, all these documents are necessary for the issuance of an ECNR passport. The certificates of educational qualification are compulsory for the issuance of this passport. Now I am going to tell you which country accept the passport. Almost every country worldwide accept the ECNR passport without requiring an immigration clearance. Moreover, you can go to the immigration counter with any kind of visa like tourist visa, student visa, work visa, etc., etc., and you will be allowed. Now I am telling you what is the difference between ECR and non-ECR passport. Do you wish to know ECR and non-ECR passport difference and which category your passport comes under? This information can be accessed from the last page of your passport book. In case there is no information mentioned regarding this on the page. Your passport by default will come under the ECNR passport category. Okay friends, so now my I given you all the explanation about the ECR and ECNR passport related to this. So if you like this, kindly like and subscribe my YouTube channel. So thank you, nice to talk with you, bye.